So the first day of the Bitcoin spot ETFs came and went. And some of you, at a glance, might be disappointed with the lack of price action. But me? I'm impressed with how resilient Bitcoin was today, considering the news we got. First, look back at this week leading up to it. What a mess. Within 48 hours, the narrative was, Bitcoin ETFs are approved. No, they're not approved. Oh, the SEC's Twitter was hacked. No, it wasn't. And then Gary comes out directly and says that he hasn't approved anything. And then 24 hours later, he approves all of them, but says he doesn't like Bitcoin. You can buy it, but don't. Don't buy it, but you can. And then the next morning, right in the middle of the week, all 11 ETFs launch, and it goes straight up to 49,000 when we got some scary news that sent us down to 45,000. And then we kind of pitter-pattered, and now we're at 46 and some change. What happened that scared everyone? A market-wide sell-off due to a hot inflation report. Inflation is higher than we thought it would be. And this means the Fed cannot cut rates as early as we assumed, and that things could be bad for longer. And so this causes fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market. And so you're going to sell off. And what's the first thing you sell? Tech stuff. And Bitcoin is the techiest of tech stuff. So back in the old days, when you see a headline like this, that means Bitcoin's going to plummet 25-30%. Did that happen? No. Just, what was that? We're 0.5% down from the day before? Right back to where we were? That's it? So the inflation report scared everybody. It hurt, Coinbase, who should have done very well today, and I think they will do quite well over the next couple of weeks. But they're a tech stock. They got hit by the inflation story, but the Bitcoin story hasn't changed at all. And then something else happened out of left field. Vanguard, the second largest asset manager, banned its customers from buying Bitcoin ETFs. So Vanguard has, $7.5-8 trillion in assets under management. They have a lot of customers who have retirement accounts, investment accounts with them, and they want to buy stocks through their Vanguard account, like they usually do. And they were expecting to be able to buy Bitcoin today. And so they log in and they try to buy from any of these ETFs that were listed publicly, and they couldn't access any of them through their Vanguard account. Now, if you think of a Vanguard customer, they're a little older on average. It's the safe, smart way to invest long-term for most people. They worked for many, many years, and they had a Vanguard account that's been slowly getting bigger in value. Good for them. And some of them don't care about Bitcoin. Some have never heard of it. But a lot of them have heard of Bitcoin, and they wanted to buy some today, and they tried, and they couldn't. So some of them are going, don't worry about it. But a lot of them are upset, and they're packing up their money, and they're leaving. They're leaving Vanguard for a competitor like Fidelity, where you can buy all the Bitcoin you want. And so Vanguard's reason for this, it wasn't an error on their website or something. Vanguard puts out a statement saying, this Bitcoin stuff doesn't align with our values. Oh, Vanguard has values all of a sudden? Listen, Vanguard only cares about one thing: making money. And so they're taking the moral high road. But I think that's going to change real fast. Because Vanguard wouldn't allow anyone to buy the ETFs thinking that this whole Bitcoin thing is going to flop. No one's going to buy from these ETFs. You saw the week they had. We don't even know if it's real. No one's making any money on this. I bet Bitcoin's going to be worth 10 grand tomorrow. Wait, what? It's still 46,000? Wait, how much did those guys bring in? $4.6 billion in volume in the first day on these Bitcoin ETFs. Despite mass fear, total nonsense all week, Vanguard talking trash, blocking all of its customers from buying Bitcoin, they still brought in $4.6 billion of action. All of these companies. And they've been competing with each other too. They're lowering fees, they're offering incentives. They want your money. They want you to buy Bitcoin through them. And so Vanguard excluded themselves from the party. And when Mr. Vanguard is at his desk tomorrow morning, he's going to go, I did the right thing. Wait, what? How many people have left? How much money did they have to? Oh no, I missed out on all of that. Okay. Get online. Tell them it was a little error on our website. We cleared it up. You can buy Bitcoin from us now. Please do that. Too late, Vanguard. You showed your hand. You're out. A lot of these customers are going to leave. And you know something else? These companies, Bitwise, ARK, iShares, Fidelity, VanEck, they're already having trouble filling the orders they're getting. I'm seeing posts on Twitter of people who have a couple hundred Bitcoin. They bought a lot back when it was super cheap, when it was like $50 a coin. They bought a bunch and they have it on a dusty wallet somewhere. They're getting phone calls from companies like Fidelity, and they're going, hey, Biff, you got yourself a couple hundred Bitcoin? Yeah, I was going to make a racetrack maybe. Well, what if we buy all of those from you? We'll give you 42,000 apiece. We want to buy all of them right now. And a lot of these people are selling. They're selling off their Bitcoin. And that did temporarily suppress the price of Bitcoin because these companies are trying to hoover up as much as they can from anybody. The OTC market is drying up. They're looking for someone to buy from. We knew this would happen. So let this ETF stuff calm down and find its footing. We got a little scared today. People get used to this. Inflation's always been nasty, all right? Stuff calms down over the next week or two, and I think Bitcoin, maybe there's more of a buy the rumors, sell the news, but I think we got a lot of that today and yesterday. There might be a little more of a pullback, but overall, I think we're going to the low 50s. Honestly, the low 50s within the next month maybe. And you're going to see some pullback and some regular price action going up and down throughout the year. But overall, the demand for Bitcoin has vastly increased, but the supply has not. So we're going up and to the right and sideways and up and to the right and sideways from here on out. And so some of you were disappointed in how today went, but I am satisfied and impressed with how well Bitcoin did. If you've been in crypto for a while, you remember how it used to be. Today should have been terrifying, and it was a blip on the radar. So yeah, if you're sitting on something like Coinbase stock and you're disappointed in today, don't you worry. The narrative hasn't changed. We got some temporary fear, but fear is always temporary. The story is still here. Bitcoin is still as good as ever, better than ever, especially with these ETFs. ETFs, they had a rough day, a rough launch, but things smooth out, right? Happens with video games all the time. Their launch is lousy. 6 months later, it's the best game of all time. The game is still on, and you and I are going to do great this year. I'll see you next time.